This week's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Well, I must admit I really quite miss my van. This car camping it's not as much fun as just kipping in the back of my van. So this is our camp. It's a bit of a mess. I have a new tent. Bought a new tent because for the Carmana trip this year I had to rent a bunch of tents and it was quite expensive. So I'm going to start buying some tents. I just need, I already have 3, I just need another 3. So this is a Nemo equipment. It was on sale. So it's a pretty nice tent for, I'm sure the guests will appreciate it when we go to Carmana next year. So if you're interested in that trip, be sure to head on over to my website. Yeah, Paul and I are just downloading images. As you can see, it's quite sunny right now. So I'm just downloading some images and I'm going to try and get a video out, which might be a bit of a problem because there's not much cell service here. There's some pretty large trees here as well, some nice Sitka spruce. Camp life, it's just hanging out and enjoying the sunshine and looking at this morning's images and planning for this evening's images. So this evening we're going to go back into the HOH rainforest and see what we can find in there. Hopefully we'll get some nice light. It's funny, the last couple of days we've been hanging out in the HOH rainforest area and it's been very sunny and contrasty, so it's been a little bit of a challenge. We came here yesterday morning, but we didn't really get here on time. The sun comes up over the mountains pretty early. And of course you get all these specular highlights, which is just a bit annoying. And the forecast was for more sun for the rest of the week. But this morning it's actually raining. So it's perfect for these conditions, for this location. But then when you have light like this early in the morning, it's just so dark. It's hard to know what the results are going to be. I'm going to have to really brighten up the photographs quite a bit. The good news is though, there's no breeze in here, so long exposures and there should be very, very little movement in the leaves and such. And because of that, I've decided not to use a polarizer in this case. Otherwise I'll just be upping the shutter speed or prolonging it even longer. These big leaf maples are just spectacular, really something. So what I'm trying to do here is, what I really like about this scene, I'm going for a vertical I've got the 45 to 100 f4 lens on the GFX 100S. Finally got it fixed again. But I love the curve of this branch, and then the curve of the tree behind. And then if you go behind, now it gets a little bit busy, but there's some really nice curves in there that kind of mimic each other all throughout the frame. The only thing that bothers me about this area is, and again this comes down to visitation, is a lot of these areas are quite worn down because they've had so many people walking through here. So photographically, this bottom section isn't terribly attractive. So what I'll probably do is just darken that a little bit in post-processing, burn it in a little bit. That's why I've tightened up the foreground so much, is because this is just, they've put gravel down here. But yeah, just really, really stunning. There is some white spaces in there, as you can notice, and what I'll probably do is put a little bit of, I can use the, if you go in Lightroom, you can use dehaze, except haze it up a little bit and just add a little bit of kind of flare. And to my eye, that just softens up the scene a little bit. Some people might not like it, but I kind of try to soften those areas up so it's not so jarring. As you can see, the trail isn't overly attractive. It's nice that it kind of wanders through, but it doesn't really add to the scene. So one of the things you can do to get rid of stuff is get down low, so you're shooting across rather than down on it. Because if I was at eye level, then you know, if I'm including all of these trees, then you're going to get the trail. So get down low, shoot across, and then you can get rid of it. And again, this time it's a 65 by 24 pano, and I'm trying to get all of these trees in right across to where pole is. And yeah, it's kind of neat. It's you're basically just getting the base of the trees and the ferns. The hardest part is trying to separate the trees from one another. Like this central tree, there is another one behind it that kind of merges a little bit. It's not a huge deal breaker, but I think it will work because the tree behind it has a little bit more light on it, so that helps a lot. So you can kind of separate the two. And then we have that really nice leaning one way in the background there. And yeah, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 trees that are just in a line there with, of course, with all the moss on them. Just look beautiful.
Once again, I'd like to thank Squarespace for supporting my channel and sponsoring this week's video. One of my favorite features of a Squarespace website is the ability to quickly and efficiently update a gallery or page either from a desktop computer or while on the fly using the Squarespace app from my mobile device. Loading multiple images onto a page is quick and offers the ability to change a design or page quickly and elegantly without any coding knowledge. Want to sell your products? No problem. Setting up shop is also quick and intuitive. Sound interesting? why not head over to squarespace.com and try it for free? And if you like what you find, use the code AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase.
All right, I can't take credit for this. This one goes to Paul. Paul showed me his shot, and then I thought, I'd like to take that shot, Paul. So I'm stealing his shot. So if you see my shot and then his, I stole it from him, not the other way around. What I like about this is that, of course, you have all of these great trees and you're able to separate them really, really nicely. What I have done though is that I've gotten down low again so that I'm eliminating this trail, and I think that really helps. So I'm just zooming in on, I don't know, I think there's about 7 or 8 trees here, and I am focus stacking it. It's at 45 millimeter roughly. I mean, it should be able to get everything in one frame, but just to be on the safe side, I'd really like to have everything in sharp focus. So 3 or 4 images, focus stacked, and job's a good one. Another stellar scene. They're just coming fast and furious today. Actually, most of these images or these compositions I checked out the last couple of days, and it's only now that when the light's been half decent, in this case just kind of flat, seems to work okay with these compositions, that I'm able to take these photographs. Obviously what's really nice about this are these roots coming down here. These trees used to be on a nurse log, and as the nurse log has kind of rotted away, then all we have are these exposed roots. So it's really cool. Again, I'm doing a 65 by 24 inch pano just to include the bases of them. And once again, I've tried to separate the trees as much as possible so that they fill the whole frame more or less and balance it out nicely. All right, and that's the end of another video. Thank you ever so much for watching. Obviously, at the start of this video, I was talking about having trouble uploading video. Well, obviously I uploaded last week's video, but now I'm having trouble finding places to upload this week's video. So if you watch this video, then obviously I've had or found a place to upload it. Paul's been having a few technical issues as well. So that's one of the joys of editing while you're in the field. It's not ideal editing video and images on a laptop, but I don't know, I enjoy the challenge bringing videos to everybody while I'm away. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to give us the old thumbs up. That's always appreciated. And if you'd like to support my channel in other ways, you can buy these lovely hats that my partner Karen has lovingly made. They help support the channel a great deal. Also, those hats, those are my baseball caps, and workshops. I have a number of workshops coming up for next year, a couple with Alistair Ben. Alistair and I have a workshop in Spain coming up in the winter. Also some workshops on the west coast of Vancouver Island, And Paul and I might have some other workshops coming up as well. We're still talking about those. So, oh, and Scotland. Don't forget Scotland. We have a workshop in Scotland. I think it has a few places left.
It has, yeah. We've got about 4 places.
About 4 places, I think. So go check that out. That's with Dean Allen. That's this November on the Isle of Harris and Lewis. Anyway, thank you ever so much, everybody, and until next time. Cheerio.